Hey, welcome or welcome back to my channel. So last year on the 1st of June in 2021, I moved with my family, my British partner and my 3-year-old daughter from London, UK to Stockholm in Sweden. So basically we have been living here in Sweden for 8 months now. Wow, time is flying. So in this video I wanted to give you a little update and tell you how we are doing here living in Sweden, especially how we are coping during the winter, since we kind of experienced now 3 seasons in Sweden: summer, autumn and winter, although we are still in the middle of winter. Yeah, if you're new here, this channel is all about living in Sweden as a foreigner. I'm originally from Germany. As I mentioned, my partner is from Britain, and our daughter is kind of British German on the way to be Swedish. And I want to give you a personal experience and my opinion, my experiences about living here in Sweden from the very beginning, so you can see what it is like. But also I'm here to give you some tips if you're thinking about moving to Sweden or if you're new to Sweden. So if you have any questions, make sure to leave them down in the comments below. So let's start a little bit about me talking about our day-to-day life here in Sweden. So to be honest, it feels that we actually have arrived. We have arrived at home. So our experience overall in the last 8 months is very, very positive. We really enjoy living here in Sweden, just outside of Stockholm. Our day-to-day life looked very much like work, to be honest. My partner started his new job here in Stockholm back in June, and I kind of continued working for my old company. So yeah, during the week we really worked the entire time. I worked from home. My partner went into work every now and then and also worked from home. And then our 3-year-old daughter went to kindergarten, which she absolutely loves. I told you that from the very beginning. We were so lucky. I'm really appreciating that she's having great days at nursery. And yeah, our weekends are there for exploring. We mainly explored Stockholm still because we don't have a car. And every now and then we meet some friends as well at the weekend. But of course, there's still a little bit of restrictions or, a bit of hesitation to meet up with people all the time because of the pandemic. But it's not that bad because I enjoy actually this slower life a little bit. But yeah, there are actually 3 major things I'm concentrating on, things I'm planning, things which are coming up very soon. So one of them already started. We're looking for a house. So we also used our weekends to look for a house actually. When I say house, I mainly mean Rathus. So kind of like a smaller house. And yeah, we spent already a few weekends looking at properties. We haven't found our dream house yet, so that's an ongoing thing. And of course, if you have followed my journey so far, you know that I'm pregnant, and it's not long now that I'm popping and basically giving birth to our second baby. And of course, I'm planning around this a little bit as well, preparing for the baby, preparing for what's to come, mentally and physically a little bit. So yeah, I also want to make a few more videos about this, for example, about the healthcare system and just in general having a baby here in Sweden. So if you're interested in that, let me know in the comments down below. Yeah, and we are also planning on having a car at some point, but that also means my partner is going to do his driving license. Because he grew up in London, it never was really required. I instead grew up in the countryside, in the proper countryside, so no town or bigger town was close by. So when I turned 18, I wanted my driving license straight away. But yeah, my partner didn't need it, and now we live a little bit further outside and we are going to have 2 kids. So now it's about time. So that's another thing I can also talk about in future videos, or at least in one video. I'll let you know how that goes. And then of course it is very interesting to know how we are coping in the winter months. I would say winter kind of started a little bit in October, but mainly in November and December, and then also now January. So we already experienced 3 months of winter. We experienced the coldness, we experienced the darkness, and what do you think? How are we coping? I can reveal it here. We are actually doing fine. I have heard so many warnings. Even my friends are checking in, asking us how we are doing, especially with the darkness. And I definitely noticed that it got dark quite early, you know, so it obviously stayed longer dark during the day. But, you know, I talked with my partner also to try to see what he thought about it. And we both thought it didn't really affect us. Of course, it's our first winter, and I think we were a little bit scared, you know, or curious, or, you know, we maybe expected to feel a bit low maybe, but it has not been the case so far. I mean, we do not live in the far north of Sweden where it might be a little bit more extreme, but I feel like we were so lucky in those last 3 months. We had so many sunny days. I feel we definitely saw the sun much more often than in London, and I feel that makes such a difference actually if you have so many sunny days. And then it was also snowing here a few times and the snow stayed, and that is absolutely beautiful. Something I also didn't expect much because Stockholm is not so famous for having snow. So maybe it was a bit of an exceptional winter last year, this year. It was definitely colder than what we are used to normally. But as I mentioned many times, you know, and also thanks to the recommendations of other people, we really wrapped up nicely warmly. I've never bought such a big jacket, you know, to keep me warm in the outside. So I think we were really prepared, so the coldness wasn't such a big thing. I mean, it's nice to also come home to a very cozy and warm house. That definitely helps. But yeah, the cold so far is okay, and the darkness was also okay. I mean, I bought some vitamin D for my daughter just in case, you know, because I heard so much. I personally take pregnancy vitamins where vitamin D was included. My partner didn't take anything, but I didn't really see a difference in his mood swings. He was the grumpy self. No, I'm just kidding. Let's see if he watches this video. So yeah, I feel because we prepared ourselves mentally so much for kind of the worst, it turned out much better than we expected, and we ended up really enjoying the winter months so far. Of course, it's not done yet. So let's see if another month or two will drain us a little bit and we are craving for a warmer season, which is also natural, I think. Oh yeah, one thing I was not so happy about is that it was quite icy sometimes outside, so the streets or the pavements were quite slippery. And although there were stones and stuff like to help, you know, maybe not melt the ice or the snow, but to get a grip. You know, I'm pregnant, I'm really heavily pregnant now, and I'm a little bit terrified to fall. So that's the only thing I don't like at the moment. So I try to avoid actually going outside. Even going for a walk could be quite challenging. So that's maybe the only thing where I'm a bit like, I can't wait for it to stop so I can walk normally. Oh yeah, but what's really cool is that we went sledging for the first time, and that's something new for us as well, because in London, you know, there's pretty much no snow. We had one day last year, I think, but it really was like a day, and we didn't have you know, a sleigh or anything. So we bought one here now. We went sledging, and that was a lot of fun. So we are experiencing an interesting winter already. And not even in Germany the last 2 years where we went back to my parents' house for Christmas, we didn't have snow. So I feel very privileged that we have snow here in Stockholm. And I also wanted to give you a little bit an update on our social life. You know, I think that's very important for people. I see the questions many times where people are, is Sweden social? And I've talked about this in other videos and even asked questions to the Swedes out there. What do they think if Sweden is a social, you know, society, if they welcome people? You can watch that video as well if you want to and read the comments. But yeah, since my last update, it's not that I have met any more people. Again, there's also the pandemic going on, so that definitely plays a role. And then also in the family, we are preparing a little bit for the arrival for the baby. You know, I'm not going out that much or do anything in that area. But I also have to say, it doesn't really bother us at the moment. At least it doesn't bother me. We have our friends, a few friends here. I mentioned already in my videos, I'm really happy to have them and spend time with them and concentrate on them rather than, you know, trying to find new friends. I don't need a ton of friends. I'm quite happy with a handful of friends at the moment. And it's quite special for me at the moment as well, because I'm expecting, you know, a baby. And then 2 of my friends have kind of babies themselves. And a new British mom, which I met here when I moved here, also gave birth. So I feel like it is quite convenient that my friends are kind of in the same stage as I am, where you enjoy a lot of time with your newborn or with your pregnancy. And then every now and then you meet up with your friends. No news on the kindergarten front. Also, my daughter lives her social life very much in kindergarten. And when I asked her the other day if she loves her kindergarten, there was a big yes coming out of her. So she's still happy. That makes me happy as a mom. And she even goes so far to welcome every new child there and spends time with them. She seems more social than us. And my language skills, I almost don't dare to say anything, but I haven't really improved with my Swedish. It's still almost non-existent after 8 months. I feel a little bit ashamed. I should really get back on it, but hopefully I can make a little bit more time for it. Obviously, I told you that my SFI course kind of got cancelled, but I also didn't put the effort in to sign up for a new one. But I really need to, especially because of my daughter. She is already understanding and speaking so much Swedish. She has overtaken us in like no time. I mean, she's only 3 years old, but sometimes we actually already ask her, oh, what did this woman say or this man say? Which is just incredible that she can understand it and we can not. But yeah, rest assured, this is on my to-do list and I will learn Swedish 100%. It's just a matter of time. And last but not least, a little bit of bureaucracy. It's actually kind of done, so it's not a big update, but I was taking care of my maternity leave. So I had to sort out a few things in that area in December. I also filled out the form a little bit wrong. So luckily, Försäkringskassan called me up and clarified a few things, which I'm very thankful for. So it's not that easy always, you know, I'm trying to obviously translate, always with Google Translate, and sometimes it happens that I misunderstand things. But yeah, I had a bit of a tricky situation. It wasn't really clear what's going to happen with me because I am an EU citizen, but I was working in the UK, which, you know, is obviously not EU anymore. And Brexit is definitely a pain in the A. But I started a company, so they were figuring out, you know, what the best way is to calculate my maternity leave. So maybe I can talk about this a little bit in more detail in another video if you're interested about how parental leave works here. It is a bit complicated at times, but you can always like call Försäkringskassan, which I do regularly. So that's quite nice. But yeah, if you want me to talk about it, you can also let me know in the comments down below. So yeah, here we are after 8 months living in Sweden. We are quite a happy family so far after 8 months. We had our challenges, but we feel already quite at home here in Sweden, which I'm very, very grateful for. We do have quite a few plans in the next months, in the year, so make sure to follow us. And thanks so much for watching till the end. I hope I will see you in my next video. Until then, have a great day and stay safe. Hej då!